Good morning to all. The subject name is Telecommunication Network Management. So in previous class we discussed about the how the information content is defined and stored. The information is defined using the ASMI and data is stored using the MIB. So that is we see how the data are structured and how it is stored in a database. So those are all considered information model. And also we studied about what is managed object and what is manager, what is MIB and what is MDB. So here is the MIB and MDB are the databases. The MIB is a management information base. There is a virtual database. MDB is a management database. There is a physical databases. And we are also seeing about the MIB, that is the management information base, is stores the parameter of the objects or the network elements, and MDB is a physical storage or the physical databases. The physical databases store the values of the parameter. So today we're going to see about the communication model. So here the communication model addresses the how the information is exchanged between the devices. So how the actual information is forwarded from one network system to another system. So the management data are communicated between the agents and the manager. So as well as between the managers also. As we seen about the local manager and the central manager. So like this, the data will be forwarded between the managers. So here the three aspects need to be addressed in communication of the information between the two entities, between two systems. So those are the transport medium of the message exchange and the message format of the communication, and also the actual message. The first thing is a transport medium of the message exchange that happens at the transport protocol. The second one is the message format of the communication that happens at the application protocol. The last one is the actual message, that is a comment and response. So let's see the example so we can able to understand. Here as you can see from the picture, it's a manager and application. So I will explain it so that it will be easy. So before that, I like to give a small example. For example, the Kumar decided to buy a car, the Honda car. So in order to buy a car, so he can directly go to the shop and communicate with the dealer about inquiring about the what are the car models are available in Honda and what are their configuration, what are their prices, and maybe he can ask about the payment method. So the first way is a direct communication, is directly visiting the shop. The second method, using the internet, you can able to gather the information. So if they are using the internet, so first we have to send the request of I need the car details of Honda company or the Honda model. I need all the car details and information about the Honda. So what the dealer here is, a dealer is the agent. For example, the Kumar is a manager. So the agent, the dealer is agent. So after requesting the request which is getting from the manager, the dealer will send the response of the available car information. So after selecting the particular car, the Kumar, the manager, looking for the specific information about the specific model of the car. So we will simply send the another request like I need the car pricing details and configuration details for particular car. So the agent looks for the network element. That means they look for the what are the cars available and what are the configurations. So those things in the databases. Here in the computer, it looks for the network element. Inside the network element, it grabs all the information, whatever the manager requested, and those information will be forwarded as a response to the manager. So and also if anything happens, it notifies the manager about the particular emergency, or it will make an alarm to notify the manager. So in internet, as you can see, it's a request and response process, or it is a traps and notification process. So the request will be sent to the agent, and the agent will look for the information about the network element in the network element. After gathering the information, it will forward those information to the manager. So these are the basic operation will happen. So as I said before, for example, likewise the information will be shared. So it is a basic description of the communication model. So the here it happens that the manager is focused on the application. The manager is an application. So the next one, these are all the transport layer. So it describes about the communication protocol so used for transfer information between the managed object and managing process, as well as between the management processes. So these are the things explained in this image. So the OSI model uses the CMIP along with the CMIS. So the internet uses the SNMP for communication. So SNMP is nothing but a simple network management protocol. I already explained about what is SNMP. So these services are part of the operation using their request and response and alarm notification. So the OSI. So as you can see, the first one, so it's all part of the services like the operations, request and response and notification. So it happens between the application. So the next one is the OSI uses both connection oriented and connectionless protocol for transportation. So for transferring data, it uses both the UDP and TCP. So here the OSI uses both the UDP and TCP. As you know, the what is UDP and what is IP? So it's a connection oriented and connectionless oriented. So connection oriented is nothing but so whenever we are sending the data, if we are getting the acknowledgement of the data, whether the data is received or not. So if they are getting the acknowledgement, there is a connection oriented. And also the connection oriented, they will have the sequence numbers in order to track all the packet, whether the sequence is matching or not, whether the data is received or not. So and also if it is a data loss, if it is a data is received successfully, so it will send the acknowledgement. If acknowledgement is not received, that means that the data is not received by the destination node or destination system. So that data will be retransmitted. So if it is a connectionless, so simply it forward the data. So the source node doesn't know whether the data is reached to the destination or not. The data is received by the destination or not. So these are all the connection and connection protocols are used for transferring the data. For example, the TCP for the transport layer protocol, so it's working on the X25 protocol could be used for the connection oriented transporting and also the application messages. So TCP4 over the connection-less network protocol is used for connectionless transportation. So here the internet uses the connection less UDP protocol for transmitting the data. Here the internet uses UDP protocol. So after that, the same IP and SMTP specify the management communication protocol for the OSI and also the internet messages. So the application process. So sorry. So the application process here involves the management communication between the layers of the protocol. The OSI it deals with the message in the specification of the managed object. So the managed object and their attributes be manipulated by the operations. So the basic application service model are defined by the CMS. So these are the things. So in the internet, all the operations are executed using the SNMP messages. So using the SNMP protocol, the message will be transferred in the internet. So that is all about the communication model. So in communication model, we studied about how the information is transferred between the systems. Thank you.